amigos. Welcome one, welcome all. It's time for another exciting edition of the show with no name. So can I get an amen? Now, how about a hallelujah? Yeah, all right. Time for liftoff. Let's go.
9, 8, 7.
Lots to do today,
5,
amigos.
4, 3.
All aboard.
2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff. Liftoff. 30 minutes after the hour.
Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show.
Ready? Come on, come on.
With no name time.
Let's do this.
Radio. It's the show with no name.
Sing it.
Come on, let's go.
Welcome, my amigos. Welcome, Show with No Namers. Welcome, Vaughn Radio listeners. It's an honor and a pleasure to have you here with us for another exciting edition of what I hope is your favorite variety show in English. In Spanish, you say magazine, right? For us, that's revista. It's not a kind of TV program or radio program. It means you get a little bit of everything. Another show like that here on Vaughn Radio, The Salad with Dave Boyce. You never know what to expect with Dave Boyce. And if you want to get random, well, you've got Jules Linares every day. You never know what she's going to bring up, mencionar, what she's going to bring up on her program. So download the free Vaughn Radio app, and this way you can learn English with all my amigos here at Vaughn Radio. Also, if you're podcast listeners, well, you can find us on, I think, almost every podcast platform. So you've got no excuses, my amigos. If you want to learn English, you've got no excuses, which conveniently is the name of the show right before this show, hosted by my good friend Fitz. It's a master class with my buddy Fitz, and it's right before this program every day. And right after this program, man, you are in for a treat. When this show is all over today, you can learn English with my amiga. But what was her name again?
Jimena will test your English. Yes, she'll test your English. Jimena will test your English with Nacho. Right, Test Your English is on Vaughn Radio every day at 12:30 with Jimena and Nacho.
¿Te gustaría abrir puertas a nuevas oportunidades y estar listo para cualquier desafío? Con el máster de inglés del Grupo Vaughan podrás transformar tu futuro. Este programa intensivo te ayudará a dominar el inglés profesional, perfeccionar tu comunicación y ganar la confianza que necesitas para conseguir tus objetivos. Nuestros profesores Vaughan especializados te prepararán para afrontar en inglés todas las situaciones de comunicación en un entorno profesional. No dejes que el inglés sea una barrera. Invierte en tu futuro con el máster de inglés profesional del Grupo Vaughan. Llámanos al 91-133-5833 o entra en grupovaughan.com.
That's right, folks. If you have ever thought about doing a master's with us, now is the time. The Executive Master in Inglés Profesional. Now, you can do it in person at one of our offices, which, let me remind you, we've got offices in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, and Zaragoza. And who knows? Maybe we could be coming to a city near you soon. Who knows? Hey, some of these places were employees or people, friends of Vaughn who said, hey, you guys should have an office in this city. And of course, it's not that simple. You got to study the market over there. You got to see if first you're going to have clients or not. But come up with a business plan, blah, 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 blah. A lot of stuff. Easier said than done. Entre el hecho, dicho y el hecho hay un trecho. Easier said than done. But it's been done with somebody saying, hey, why don't you open a Vaughn in Vigo? And in fact, if I'm not mistaken, was it Vigo or Santander? Well, one of our offices, I can't remember now. Richard Vaughn could tell you this story. But basically, one of our offices, the guy was working in Madrid. And he's like, well, listen, my girlfriend who I'm going to marry, my wife to be, she's up north. I got to go home there. I don't want to leave Vaughn. It's like my family, but I've got to. I've got to do this. Needs must. Sometimes that's the way life works. Well, it's always the way it works. El deber llama. And he said, I wish I could open a Vaughn there. Now, if I'm not mistaken, maybe, is it Santander? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Santander office. And what happened was, Richard said, all right, do your homework, bring me a business plan, something like that, something to that effect. And voila, again, easier said than done. So you never know. Maybe you could be running the next Vaughn branch in your city. Either way, if you're interested in that and you think there's a market, contact us. The best way to get in touch with us is via social media. You can contact us on social media. Also, you can contact us via our website, grupovaughn.com. You've got to contactanos like most websites do. And as I said, with the Masters, right now, this is the moment. And it's got a deadline. Well, most deals do. Muchas ofertas sí que los tienen. And you've got until the 31st of January, 2025. Digo el año porque se repiten. So you've got until January 31st, 2025, and you can save $500. 500 pavos. Now, I don't know about you, but I can think of a lot of things I could do with all that cash. So check it out now, but don't rest on your laurels. Okay? To rest on your laurels, you know that one. Laurel, you say the same thing in Spanish, because if you think about it too long, well, the offer will vanish, will disappear, and that's up to the 31st. Again, you've literally got a day or two if you're listening to this live. So if you've ever thought about doing our master's program, do it. Now's the moment. Save $500. More information at grupovaughn.com. Also, if you're following on social media, you'll be able to find more information about that and many of our other materials. And we always take a look at materials in our pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz.
Do you want to have some fun with your fellow students and your teachers? Do you like challenges? Do you like practicing your English? Well, then Vaughn Radio Trivia Night is what you've been looking for. Join us Tuesday, February 4th at 8 p.m. for another Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. Chris Frank, the host of Frankly Speaking, will be hosting this month. So mark your calendars. Tuesday, February 4th at 8 p.m. at the Toast Tap Room in Malasaña, Calle San Vicente Ferrer 33. Join us for another Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. Fun for the whole family. See you there.
That's right, folks. Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. It's right around the corner. Remember, it used to be on Wednesdays. Now it's the first Tuesday of every month, and we're at a new location. It's in Malasaña. It's the Toast Tap Room. So don't miss it. Even my wife, we were talking about it yesterday because I said, well, listen, are you girls going to come or should I go solo? Whatever, whatever you want. And she said, we had a really good time last time. And she means we, like she did, and so did Lara, respectively. So, and that was hosted by Rob and Andy. So this one coming up is Chris Frank, and what can I say except what I say at the end of that radio ad? We'll see you there. Te vemos ahí, o ahí nos veremos sería la traducción. All right, my amigos, we're going to learn right now from Inglés para Viajar. Now, I know not too many people travel in January, right? January, man, it's uphill. Es cuesta arriba. But the smart people travel in January. Why? Because it's a lot cheaper than traveling at the Christmas holiday. So if you do have days off, January is actually a great time to travel. But that's why many people aren't traveling. So the demand is a lot lower. As we say, you say oferta y demanda. We say supply, suministro, supply and demand. So, all right, let's take a look at this material. It's just one of the many materials you can pick up at Vaughn Tienda. It's called Inglés para Viajar. Also, another reminder, you've got the latest material too, 365 días de wellness e inglés. Excellent material, great way to start off the new year with some healthy habits, English habits, eating habits, exercise habits. They're all in this book, and it comes with over 250 videos because obviously if you're going to be doing some training, you need to see what's happening, right? You need to watch the teacher say, okay. And he says, don't put your leg like this because then you can hurt yourself. You got to put your leg like that. And be careful you don't, crunch up your toes, whatever, because each little exercise has its, ins and outs, sus pormenores, the things you need to know, right? So you've got a personal trainer. His name is, if you want to follow him and take a look at it, because he'll be talking about the book on his social media, but also you can follow him for free. His name is David Gomez Agudo. Really nice guy. I was chatting with him the other day, but you can find him on social media as which is arroba, @fitbull_coach, right? And this is where our spelling bee comes into play. Porque si dices, can you spell that? Entonces ahí diría @FITBULL__COACH. Check it out. Really nice guy. And what I love about it most is he's empowering people. The material is €19.95 at the Vaughn Tienda. 19, so under $20. And you've got 365 days to practice English, to work on your nutrition, your fitness, and most important, I think, your mindset, right? Tu forma de pensar, tu mentalidad, your mindset. All right, but today we're not listening to something from 365 días de wellness e inglés. Today, we're going to travel, at least in our minds, in Inglés para viajar. Yeah, Inglés para viajar. I was thinking para viajes. No, it's Inglés para viajar, available at Von Tienda. And as always, listen carefully because I will have some challenges for you afterwards.
Key phrases for differences between Spanish and English speakers.
Diferencias entre hispanohablantes y angloparlantes. No nos damos 2 besos cuando nos saludamos.
We don't give 2 kisses when we greet each other.
Solemos solo sonreír y saludar con la mano.
We usually just smile and wave.
No te ofendas, no somos tan fríos.
Don't take offense, we aren't that cold.
Puede que nuestro sentido de humor parezca irónico y sarcástico, pero no es con ninguna mala intención.
Our sense of humor may seem ironic and sarcastic, but we don't mean anything bad by it.
No deberías sentirte incómodo solo porque él sea un poco distante.
You shouldn't feel awkward just because he's a bit standoffish.
A veces solo hace falta dar la mano.
Sometimes a simple handshake will do.
En realidad, ella puede ser bastante cariñosa una vez que la conoces mejor.
She can actually be quite warm once you get to know her.
Puede que parezca severo, pero es lo más bondadoso que hay.
He may seem stern, but he's as kind-hearted as they come. Key grammar for cultural differences.
Preguntas con why y how come.
Why do you drive on the other side of the road?
How come you drive on the other side of the road?
Why do you celebrate it on the 5th of November?
How come you celebrate it on the 5th of November?
Why do you have a celebration on July 4th?
How come you have a celebration on July 4th?
Why do you have dinner at 7 o'clock?
How come you have dinner at 7 o'clock?
Key grammar for cultural differences.
Porque, because. Celebramos el 4 de julio porque es el día de la independencia.
We celebrate the 4th of July because it's Independence Day.
Celebramos el 5 de noviembre porque es el día de Guy Fawkes.
We celebrate the 5th of November because it's Guy Fawkes Day.
Cenamos más temprano porque nos acostamos más temprano.
We have dinner earlier because we go to bed earlier.
Conducimos al otro lado de la carretera porque así es como se hacía en el pasado.
We drive on the other side of the road because that's how people did it in the past.
No mostramos tanto afecto en público porque somos un poco distantes.
We don't show as much affection in public because we're a bit standoffish.
All right, there you go, folks. That is Inglés para viajar, available at Von Tienda, along with many other amazing materials. You've got Richard Vaughn's autobiography as well. You've got 365 días de wellness e inglés. You've got our masters. 500 euros off, but jump on it, folks. And again, remember, Talk Master. So download Talkmaster on your phone and then go to Vaughn's Student World and create an account, and you'll find it. You link the two together and you can get a free trial, una prueba gratis, for a week. And I'd love to know what you guys think of it. Let me know, and I can always pass on that information. All right, so let's take a look at this audio about cultural differences. Now, I remember the 2 kisses when I got here. It was awesome. All I would do, I remember I was a little kid. I was like 7 years old in Almeria. And I would always, you know what my number one phrase was? Introduce me to your older sister. Think about it. I got to kiss her. Wow, that was amazing. So, I remember that. I was like, wow, I love how they do it here in Spain. And then, was it in Holland? I don't remember where I was. Maybe France or Holland. Maybe, guys, correct me if I'm wrong. I get confused sometimes. But it's 3 kisses. So Spain is 2. Some places are 3. You can imagine what happens there. Sometimes you might smooch somebody on the lips. And to smooch somebody's another way of saying to kiss. Sounds onomatopoeic, right? Smooch, right? So yeah, I remember that happened once. It can be awkward, a great word that we heard in that audio clip. Esto es el weird de, alguien dice algo y todos se quedan like, oh, this is awkward. O ese silencio donde nadie sabe qué decir, those awkward silences, right? Es incómodo en ese sentido, like, okay, all righty. Okay, so this is awkward. All right, let's see what I've got for you today in your challenges, in your pop quiz. All right, the first one, and I want to make sure you know this one. It's good to know. Nos dimos la mano después de cerrar la operación. Okay, es muy normal eso, ¿no? Cierras una operación. How would we say that in English? Y darse la mano. Y no digo darse la mano en plan enamorado, because that's a little bit different. Think of the Beatles. This one is dar la mano como apretón de manos, right? So, do you know how to say that in English? We heard it in the audio. Okay. So, nos dimos la mano después de cerrar la operación. Okay. Y otra vez reitero, en el contexto se sabe que no es dar la mano como vamos a pasear juntos. Es, bueno, estamos de acuerdo. Perfecto. Gracias. Okay. All right. The next one. This is a great one that Victor brought up. Victor from New York, by the way. And it's another way of saying unfriendly. Somebody who's kind of cold or distant, right? Unfriendly, cold, or distant. It's a great adjective. I don't think we've ever looked at it here on the show, to be honest. So it's a great one. Poco amigable, despegado, distante. Now, the good thing is you can say that. But usually we say it to somebody we know. Like, I don't know, you've been acting distant lately. No? Como que no estás aquí. This can be, anybody who's unfriendly. Okay, poco amigable, despegado, distante. Remember, I think the best case with this one, because the first one, I want you to give me some specific vocabulary. But in this one, what I want you to do is I want you to give me your version. How would you use this? Do you know somebody who's poco amigable? I'm sure you do. We all do. Some people who are just naturally unfriendly. And again, it's okay. Don't expect everybody to be the same way you are. Do I expect everybody to be friendly and high energy like I am? No, that would be weird, actually. So it's kind of cool that, people are different. All right. And the last one, I want you to ask me a question. I'll answer it if I know the answer. If not, we can Google it. And I want you to say por qué, but I don't want you to use why. Why? Because I know you know why. So no te hagas el why. Oh, yes, folks. I'll be here all week. Okay, really bad. So I want you, let's go through all 3 of the challenges in our pop quiz. And I see we've got a lot of participation here, which is awesome. Great to have you all on board. I'm just reading your names over here in our virtual classroom, and it's great to have you here, all of you. Also, let me remind you, before I forget, also, question of the week. I've gotten a few answers already. If you'd like to participate in this week's question of the week, tell us your first crush. Tell us about it. Yeah. We want to know about your first crush. And you can send me a 1-minute voice message that you can record on your phone. And you can send it to alonso@grupovon.com. alonso@grupovon.com. Do it before the end of the day Thursday, and we'll hear from you on Friday in our question of the week. Thanks to all of you who have participated already, and the rest of you, well, what are you waiting for? All right, and let me give you the 3 challenges in our pop quiz as well. The first one is nos dimos la mano, un apretón de manos, después de cerrar la operación. Okay, the next one, no amigable, no, somebody who's unfriendly, an adjective, a synonym for unfriendly. They used it in the audio. Again, I believe we haven't used it here on the show. And the third one, I want you to say por qué, use the question por qué, but I don't want you to use why. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to a quick commercial break right now. I hope you are ready to have some fun, to learn, and to laugh. We're going to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with tons more, so stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 2 of today's show with no name. In this part of the show, we are going to listen to our Say What soundbite twice to kick things off. Then we're going to take a look at your pop quiz answers. I see we've got Elena, Chris Balrol, and Laura participating already. Awesome sauce. ¿Os sabéis esa? Esa es más nueva, eh? When I was a kid, it was always awesome, awesome, awesome. And now sometimes we say jokingly, awesome sauce. O sea, salsa molona, que significa otra forma de decir muy molona. So yeah, we've got our Say What soundbite, our pop quiz. We've also got our spelling bee. Also today, we're going to be learning some Italiano with our dear Laura, who's going to teach us an idiomatic expression and some more in Italian. And then we'll take a look at the counterpart in English. Yeah, this show is multicultural. What can I say? What can I say? And it's because of you, folks. I think it's amazing that people tune into this show from all around this amazing planet. Thank you. Thank you to all of you who tune in and learn and laugh with us every day. All right, let's kick off with today's Say What soundbite. Say what? What? Yes, yes, yes. All right, folks. Now, today's Say What soundbite is supposedly, they say, one of the greatest communicators my country has ever produced. I don't know if I agree, because IMO, in my opinion, there's a tinge of phoniness, de falso. No, para mí, but I don't count. This person's a billionaire because of their communication skills. So, hopefully you guys will be able to understand this. Again, not my opinion completely, but an amazing communicator to many. So that's good. That's good news. Well, listen, yesterday we had Joey Fat One. Que no se dice así. Joey Fatone. from NSYNC. And the guy, I guess he's a good dancer. I'm no one to judge. And I guess he's a good singer. I mean, he's done Broadway. I told you I saw him on a musical. It was on Broadway. Yeah, it was actually pretty good. Yeah. I mean, he was playing the role of like a nerdy, awkward guy. And he did a good job with that. But in the interview yesterday, he was like, and like, really, like, and I don't know, like, that was half of what he said. So also, you know, one thing is being a good communicator across the board in todos momentos. And another thing is, well, getting caught out there. Te pillan desprevenido, to get caught out there. Great idiomatic expression. All right, here we go, folks. Is everybody ready? This is your Say What soundbite for the first time.
Oh, God. I would like to make some really profound analogy about it. I think that incident in Switzerland was just an incident in Switzerland. I'm really sorry that it got blown up. I purposely did not mention the name of the store.
All right. Pretty easy to follow, right? I mean, we've heard some tough ones in the last couple weeks, so I think this one is a walk in the park. I think you shouldn't have many problems with this one at all. All right, let me give it to you a second time, and then we'll take a look at your pop quiz answers. All right, your Say What soundbite, take 2.
Oh, God. I would like to make some really profound analogy about it. I think that incident in Switzerland was just an incident in Switzerland. I'm really sorry that it got blown up. I purposely did not mention the name of the store.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace. Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así da gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damian, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
vaughantienda.com.
It's the shit.
That's right, folks. This book is the shit, my latest book, available with many, many other materials at the Vaughan Tienda. It's vaughantienda.com. Or if you're in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, or Zaragoza, please stop by. As the song goes in Beauty and the Beast, be our guest, Be our guest. Be our guest. All right, let's see who's with us in the house. Let's see who our guests are today. Our show with no namers from all around the world. There's Vero bringing a little bit of magic to the party. She says, morning, beautiful show with no namers around the universe and beyond. What's up, Vero? Great to have you here. Front row center, como decimos, en primera fila y en el centro, o sea, la primera. Let's see, Born to Iron Man. There he is. He says, hi, Alberto, Vero, and the rest of the show with no namers. What's up, Born to Iron Man? Vero says, we miss Nacho so much. I hope he gets well soon. Likewise, lo mismo digo. Yeah. Well, I don't know too much. I saw him a couple weeks ago, and I don't know too much. Also, I don't pry. So I know we're friends and everything, but I don't pry too much. No fisgoneo. But again, you guys you can always reach out to him. As you know, he's on social media, and just tell him, hey, we're thinking about you, missing you, and all that jazz. I'm sure he would love to hear it. All right. Elena says, good morning, everyone. Hats off to you, Born to Iron Man, for holding down the fort all by yourself. First, Elena, there's a totally native for you. Okay? To hold down the fort, cubrir los puestos. You held down the fort. Great, Elena, you are on fire already. I love it. And it's true. Let's give Born to Iron Man. I feel like he took on the show alone yesterday. Now, it's weird because he wasn't alone. There were people in the group, but nobody was participating. They were here, but they left him, not me, because the show will continue. And again, the show's always not just for the people who are here live, but it's for everybody who tunes in. So, as always, I'll give you the answers if you don't know them on your own. That's my job as the teacher. But Born to Iron Man took on the world yesterday single-handedly, and you did a great job as expected. See, and your classmates realized it too. Laura says, good morning, lovely show with no namers. Congrats to Born to Iron Man for holding down the fort yesterday. I don't think you copied Elena. Laura, knowing you were using that, right? You were using that without looking at hers originally, right? From your own mind. So awesome. Laura, yes, to hold down the fort. He did. And he did it in style yesterday. He really did a wonderful job. All right. Elena says, we're all ears, double A. So fire away. Well, I just gave you great expressions. Fire away. Dinos, no, dispara las preguntas. Well, I already did. You got them. You've got your pop quiz and your say what soundbite out there already. Let's see what you guys heard. Elena says, you read my mind, Vero. We don't really know much about him. I hope he's well. Yeah, well, again, I know a little bit, but either way, I prefer not to be anybody's lawyer or I prefer to let people speak for themselves. And as I said, Nacho's an easy guy to find. He's on social media. I'm sure many of you follow him. So reach out. Es lo que recomiendo if you want to know how he's doing. Because, I don't know how much you know, how much you don't know. So I'd prefer to just, have my own personal relationship with him. But I'm sure, again, and I mean this with all sincerity, if you reached out, maybe not saying, what's going on, because then that can be intrusive, Well, maybe people they don't like to tell everybody their business. Some people do. Look at social media. Some people, they post when they're going to the bathroom. And I don't know. I guess there are people who want to see that shit, But Nacho's a pretty private person. And I don't know who knows what and what. So I would prefer to not say anything, except we miss you, Nacho, if you're listening to the show right now, which I highly doubt. But we miss you, Nacho, and hope to see you soon, buddy. And again, those of you who are concerned about him, I'm sure if you reached out to him, just saying, hey, buddy, we miss you. I'm sure it would definitely bring a smile to his face. No doubt about it. Let's see. Evedo says, Elena, that is why we call him BTI. He is our Tony Stark. That's right, amigos. There's Chris Valrol. We missed you yesterday, Chris. Hope you're doing well, and sending you lots of positive energy at this moment. And that's all I'll say. Chris says, morning, dear Show with No Namers, the best way to spend the morning. No doubt about it. No doubt about it, Chris. And especially when you're here, you make it extra special. Laura says, we all miss Nacho. Yeah, how could you not? How could you not miss Nacho? I mean, I was at his wedding. I got really drunk. I got really drunk at his wedding. Oh, man. I was going to say, I have good memories. Really? I don't remember too much. But, and Nacho was at my wedding. We're great friends. And, hopefully Nacho will be back stronger than ever. We all miss him. That goes without saying. ¿Decís lo mismo? Va sin decir. Chris says, absolutely. Nacho is missed, and he misses us too. Well, yeah, as I said, how could he not? You guys have been a part of his life for the last 20 years. Same here. Some of you are newer, but you know what I mean. We've been doing this thing for like 20 years. So, you guys, some of you have been to our homes. Some of you, we know your kids, you know what I mean? It's like a family kind of vibe, and that's great. So definitely reach out to him. If he doesn't answer, well, I can't do anything there, but it can't hurt. No pierdes nada. La expresión, it can't hurt, es no pierdes nada. And Chris says, I still couldn't listen to yesterday's entire show, but 3 cheers for Born to Iron Man. Yeah, dude, you are seriously playing in the big leagues, dude. All right, let's see. We've got Elena. Elena is participating in today's pop quiz. And she says, we shook hands after closing the agreement. Yes. Y fijaos, shook hands. Lo uno. Porque es shake, shook, shaken. Right? Me recuerda a James Bond. May I have a martini? Shaken, not stirred. Shaken, not stirred. So we shook hands. Nos dimos la mano. Excellent. After closing the agreement. Excellent job, Elena. The second one, she said, I was taken aback. Wait. You smell that totally native? Wow. To be taken aback is, wow, surprised. I was taken aback when I tried to kiss him goodbye, te falta el I, because he was kind of standoffish. All right? So great. So taken aback. Let's see cómo lo traducen aquí, pero es como flabbergasted. Me encanta esta palabra. Apúntate esa. Flabbergasted. Taken aback. Me cachin. Taken aback. Ahí está. Sorprendido, desconcertado. Wow, what? Poof. Right? I was flabbergasted. I was taken aback. What a great word, Elena. I was taken aback when I tried to kiss him. Fíjate, me como la H de him. When I tried to kiss him goodbye, because he was kind of standoffish. Y piénsalo, to stand off es como alejarte. So if you're standoffish, no te acercas a la acción. No sé si te ayuda. Maybe the visual will help you realize it, or at least associate it. Great job, Elena. And the third one, how come? Yeah. How come you never called me back? Well, Elena, I didn't know you called me. I didn't have a missed call from you. All right, great job, Elena, knocking it out of the park. How come is how a lot of Americans and British people as well say why. So how come you never called me back? Elena, excellent job. Perfect. Let's see. We've got Chris Valrol over here. And the first one, she says, we shook hands. Fijaos, otra vez como lo uno. We shook hands after closing the deal. Great job. Yeah, una operación. I wouldn't say an agreement it's okay. But it's a lot easier to say the one syllable deal. Y de hecho, ahí puedes usar la expresión to seal the deal, sellar el acuerdo, la operación. So I always say deal, personally, right? But hey, that's fine. It's totally understood if you use the agreement, right? But deal, one syllable, right? Let's make a deal. Vamos a negociar aquí. Vamos a hacer un trato. It's a very useful word. También es repartir, right? I'm going to deal the cards, right? The dealer is the croupier, the person in Las Vegas. So to deal with, tratar con, lidiar con. So again, that word deal is a big deal. Toma, otra. Es gran cosa. So try and use that word deal because it's got many meanings. Deal? Trato? In fact, I just wrote it down. You can expect to see it in a future Double Trouble. As I just pointed out, it's got over 3 or 4 meanings and common meanings at that. So great job, Chris. We shook hands after closing the deal or sealing the deal. Number 2, he was a little bit icily, a really cold fish. Now, icily is el adverbio, right? So icily, I would say icy, right? Icy? A ver, because icy would be the adjective, okay? And if somebody's icy, they're cold. Is that the one? Because you would say, he said that icily. Entonces sí, como adverbio, el ly es el mente. All right. Yeah, he was standoffish. He was icy. A real cold fish. Great. Wherefore, y por eso, nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nadie sabe. All right, Chris, wonderful job. We're getting some really good vocabulary from all of you. Let's see, Laura. Laura said, we shook hands after closing the agreement. Fine. You can say closing the agreement, closing the deal. What we don't say is the operation, right? The operation for us, okay, we could say he runs a big operation here. But normally in that context, you would say deal, right? An operation, like we talked yesterday, usually when you think about that, you're thinking about surgery or something like that. So there are better words for it. Let's put it that way. Even though it is an operation of sorts, you're operating, right? But, it's easier. I think it's easier to say close the deal, seal the deal. Okay. De hecho, la expresión ABC, they use it a lot with sales reps, right? Con comerciales. ABC, always be closing. Siempre tienes que estar cerrando. Ok, bien, firmamos el contrato y te lo mandamos. ABC, that's how you get paid. That's how you make your commissions, right? I've never been a good salesperson because I don't like to force somebody to buy. I've never been good at that. It's not my thing. Get it if you want. Don't get it if you don't want. All right. What do you want me to say? So great. The next one, Laura. He seems standoffish, but we shouldn't judge a book by its cover. There's a totally native for you. Lots of totally native so far. No juzguemos por apariencias. We shouldn't judge a book by its cover. And Laura's like, pues voy a aprovechar, como has dicho, pregunta y ask me any question and I'll answer it. Thank God you didn't say, how come the square root of, I don't know, la raíz cuadrada, how come you decided to move to Spain, AA? Good question. Great question. And there's not just one answer. I mean, if you want one answer, I was looking for something different. I was looking for a change. I knew it was now or never at that time. Now that kind of move, I'd have to think about it more. I was kind of a free man at that point. And I don't mean I'm not free now, but with I didn't have a girlfriend even. I was free to live wherever, right? Didn't have a mortgage, hipoteca, all that stuff that kind of ties you down in a certain way. I don't mean it in a negative way. And New York City was starting to wear on me. Me estaba cansando un poco, New York City. Also, it was changing a lot. New York City, when I first moved to the city, it was pretty like bohemian. then it became really corporate. Like, it used to be, oh, that bar's cool. There's none like it in the world. And now it's like, oh, there's another Starbucks. Oh, there's another McDonald's, another Fridays. You see what I mean? So it's lost a lot. You could say that about Madrid, too. The center of Madrid. Now, 100 montaditos, Burger King. You're like, great, really madrileño food here. Real authentic Spanish food here. So I think it was time for a change, and I knew if I didn't do it then, I would never do it. And I was able to, since I have dual citizenship, I thought I would throw caution into the wind, although that's not true either, because to throw caution into the wind is arriesgarlo todo, which I kind of did. I left all the good things. I had a job in New York. I had an apartment at a good price, so I did give up a lot of things. But also, I had a job. Even though it was only a few hours a week, it was kind of my welcome to Spain. At least you've got a job, you've got some money coming in, and I had a place to stay. I was living in Almeria. That was my first destination. And then I knew, imagine the culture shock, New York to Almeria. Yeah. Then I moved to Madrid. A friend of mine actually was like, dude, you would love Madrid. Well, Cesar, you were absolutely right. And here I am. 20 years later, I've, settled down here in Madrid. Madrid is my home. So I hope I answered your question, Laura. I gave you the short version, which is, now or never. Change it up, switch it up, as we say. And I've always loved Spain and New York. Again, I was like, okay, it's expensive. It's becoming very corporate. It's and now people ask me, would you live in New York? I said, well, yeah, in the state, viviría en el estado de Nueva York, but New York City? What, are you kidding me? No way. You couldn't pay me to live in New York City these days. It's funny how we change, because if you asked me that same question 20 years ago, I'd say, you're going to drag my dead body off this island. And, well, here I am in Madrid. Folks, we've got to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back, so stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 3 of today's show with No Name here on Vaughn Radio. We've got a lot of stuff to cover. We're going to start off with today's homophones. Then we've got our Say What soundbite. That's right. We're going to hear it for the 3rd time. Also, we're going to read your feedback. We're going to check out, I've got a lot of feedback here from you guys telling us what you heard in our Say What soundbite. Then we're going to learn a little Italiano with our great friend, Laura. I'm excited because this is where the teacher gets taught. This is where you guys can see if I'm a good student or not. And I usually leave my mic open. Dejo mi micro en abierto so I can, pronounce the different things aloud. The same way I tell you guys to do when I'm doing it here in English, right? It's such an important part. And again, I can't stress enough the proximity. And what do I mean by that? If I say juxtaposition, pues si esperas 10 minutos, no te va a salir. Pero si lo dices en el momento, lo tienes presente. Juxtaposition, por ejemplo. ¿Cómo se dice eso en español? Juxtaposition. 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 Juxtaposición. Ah, mira. Pero it's not. Listen to it in English. Juxtaposition. Or another one. Epitome. Di esa palabra. Epitome. Epitome se escribe. epitome is the personification. Pero otra vez, como es una palabra, he escogido una palabra rara así. If you don't say the word epitome right after I say it, aunque lo apuntes, epitome, you're going to say it wrong because you might not remember how to say it. So say it with me. He is the epitome of family. Disney is the epitome of family entertainment. Para usar uno, como siempre digo, en contexto, así también nos aclara todo, right? You're seeing not only that you're using it correctly, but you're applying the context in your life. And I cannot stress how important that part is. All right, let's see. We're going to kick off with the section where we look at words that throw my students off. It's called Homophones on the Show with No Name. Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, it's homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. 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 Show it no. That's right, folks. It's homophones. Oh, man. Seriously, in the middle of the show? Could you flush? At least? Come on, man. Oh, this is disgusting. Well, there's our first word. Orina, but it's not urine. Pee-pee, you say. So it's the verb. The verb is orinar, mear, you would say, because orinar is to urinate. La más formal is urine and urinate. Pero no busco esa, busco uno más común que decimos. So the first one is mear. Mear y también es el meado, el sustantivo. Mira, hay un meado ahí. There's, that's the word I'm looking for, the first word. Did you, I always say it to my daughter, did you go before we leave the house? And you can use it as a verb or you can say to go. Okay? So that's our first word. Hacer pis y pis. Okay? And the second word is a mathematical word. Okay? It's a word that represents, let me see the number again. I haven't looked at this in a long time. Number, let's see. It is 3.14. Acuérdate, para vosotros es coma, para nosotros es punto. 3.1415926535897. So yeah, 3.14. I know you would say 3.14. All right, so that number, right? It's a long number now that I'm looking at it. It's a really long number. Okay, so the first word is orina, orinar. And the second word is el número 3.14, blah, 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 blah. Okay, a word that is used in mathematics. What are those two words, and do they sound exactly the same or not? Also, let me give you guys today's Say What soundbite. Here it is for the third time.
Oh, God. I would like to make some really profound analogy about it. I think that incident in Switzerland was just an incident in Switzerland. I'm really sorry that it got blown up. I purposely did not mention the name of the store.
¿Conoces Weekend Town? La nueva iniciativa de Vaughan.
Pues no.
Es un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés. Y es nuevísimo.
A ver, cuéntame más.
Tendrás una inmersión lingüística total durante 2 días. Un total de 24 horas hablando con angloparlantes de todo el mundo.
¡Wow! ¡Qué interesante!
Ganarás confianza y soltura a la hora de comunicarte en inglés. Mejorarás tu comprensión auditiva y tus habilidades conversacionales en una situación de comunicación real en inglés. Ven a Weekend Town y te sorprenderás con todo lo que puede avanzar tu inglés en un fin de semana. Weekend Town de Vaughan. un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés.
That's right, folks. What are you waiting for? Weekend Town, Vaughan Town, and don't forget about Masters with a €500 discount. Seriously, you could go to London for the weekend on a cheap ticket and at a cheap hotel. Okay, I know. But you could go to London for the weekend with the money you save and put it to the test, right? After you finish the Masters, you take that money and you book a trip, or you book it, during the Masters. So this way you have a goal. It gives you another goal to work towards. And that always makes, like we say, it's a carrot, no? Tener una zanahoria delante, as we call it. And believe it or not, I know you think about it, well, just put a carrot, dangle a carrot in front of them. But we're humans, we're animals, we're mammals, mamíferos, and that works. Who doesn't want a prize? Right? Who doesn't want a reward? We looked at that word yesterday, prize, right? Prize. It's not the same as price. All right, let's take a look. I've got a lot of comments here. We've got Born to Iron Man taking a stab at today's pop quiz. And he says, we gave a handshake after closing the deal. The only thing I would say there is we gave each other, ¿no? Porque es uno al otro, a handshake. Pero está bien. Poco más largo. Pero está bien porque quería mirarlo como sustantivo. So you can say shake hands or give each other a handshake. Ahora, más natural, shake hands. Vas directamente. Lo mismo que digas, wash your hands. Well, shake hands, right? But I wanted to look at the word, so thank you for bringing up the word handshake. In fact, they talk about that a lot. In business, you need a firm handshake. So we gave each other a handshake after closing the deal. Great. The next one, a rep can't be a standoffish person. Great. A rep, as we said, un comercial, a sales rep. Great, great word. And the last one, how come you were so cold with her? I guess I don't think I was cold with anybody, but she deserved it. She was asking for it. Se lo estaba buscando. I don't know. Well, I said I would answer your questions. All right, let's see. Laura's got something to say about today's Say What soundbite. She says, I heard an American woman who's trying to play down an incident that happened in Switzerland. Can I get a totally native? Excellent. Quitarle importancia. Restarle importancia. Right? She's trying to downplay it. Okay? Or to play it down. Los dos te valen. Te encanta el inglés, ¿no? And to play it up or to upplay it. To play it up, nada más. To upplay it no existe. So you can downplay it or play it down, or you can play it up, que es el inverso, ¿no? Darle más importancia. Great, great word there. So I heard an American woman who's trying to play down an incident that happened in Switzerland. Laura, spot on. Absolutely. Okay. Elena says, an American woman, she might be a host of a show setting the record straight about an incident that got out of hand unintentionally. Excuse me. Wow, Elena, you are on fire. I don't know where you were yesterday, but we missed you. She says some great vocabulary. To set the record straight, dejar las cosas claras. Excellent, excellent idiom. And she says about an incident that got out of hand, que se fue de las manos unintentionally. Okay. Let's see. Laura says, here I see, it says, didn't mention the name of the store. Me imagino que es parte de otro comentario. Let me see, Laura. It starts with didn't. Okay, I got a little bit lost there. Let's see. Chris Valrol says, I heard an Afro-American woman, I'd say, diría yo, who's very sorry for something that is connected to an incident that involves a store. Kind of. Well, yeah, not kind of. Totally. Algo. Yeah, totally. That's it. Okay. Let's see. Vero participating in the pop quiz. She says, we shook hands after closing the deal. Great. I was taken aback when tried to... Wait a second, Vero. You're missing the I, like another comment over there. Are these... Don't copy and paste. Are you copy and pasting? Es que I saw that mistake before. I was taken aback by when I... That was looks a little bit like Elena's comment. That example, the other one doesn't. And how come you were so cold with her? Wait a second. Vero, you got to use your own examples. I'm just saying. I caught you. Te pillao. I caught you red-handed. I'm like, wait. Because if there's a mistake in it, the chances, la probabilidad, of that same mistake twice. But then I see what you did. I like it, Vero. You made she's like, voy a hacer a mishmash, un remix de diferentes comentarios. All right, well, the important thing is at least you're practicing the vocabulary. That's the key, familiarizing yourself with it. All right, let's see. Laura says, we are so lucky you made that decision. It was the first step that brought you to us. Yeah, a lot of things had to happen for me to end up on Vaughn Radio, even at Vaughn, because remember, I didn't start on the radio. I started as a teacher, then I started doing TV stuff, and then I went into doing radio and content and things like that. So, yeah, definitely. It's definitely a chain of events that brought us all here together. And I think that's truly special. I do. Absolutely. Elena says, my battery's running down. Sorry, only 5%. I got to get back home. Well, Elena, do what you got to do because, wow, you are on it today, Elena. So don't let your battery hold you back. All right, let's see. Elena's participating. She's like, but I can still participate in homophones. All right, she gives us the two words, and she says they're homophones. All right. Laura gives us the two words, and she says they are not homophones. Oh, Chris says they're not homophones. Born to Iron Man says they are homophones or not. Okay, Born to Iron Man. I see you're sitting on the fence. Te lo devuelvo con una expresión nativa. You're sitting on the fence. No te decides. Elena says, oh, no, I guess I'm totally wrong. Well, I guess you totally trust your classmates there. Okay. Let's see. Vero says they're not homophones to me. Okay. Let's see. Anybody else? Oh, Elena, don't jump the gun. That's where I'm going. Ahí voy. Así que guarda ese, Elena, and stop reading my mind. It's a dirty place. All right. The first word is pee. Okay. I've got to pee. Tengo que mear. You can say piss, pero not pis. So ya recomiendo que digas pee, porque muchos dicen pis en vez de piss. So I've got to piss, no I've got to pis. Right? It's not the same. La I latina no es igual. So recomiendo, porque es más fácil, la I latina, I got to pee. I've got to pee, man. I really have to pee. There's pee on the floor. Hemos dicho también es sustantivo. All right. The second word is pi. The mathematical term is pi. So they are not homophones, but Elena reading my mind over there. Elena, and the rest of you, tell me each of them does have a homophone. In fact, the first one has two that I can think of. Yeah. And the second one has one. Tell me the real homophones. Okay, since these are not homophones, because one of them is P, the first one is P, y latina, pura y dura, aunque sean dos es, and the second one is pi. All right, I'll give you a double challenge on today's homophones. And in the meantime, it's time to learn some Italiano. Tutti a bordo. Impariamo a little bit of Italiano.
with Laura.
Ciao a tutti, sono Laura.
All aboard.
Mamma mia!
Mamma mia, get ready to learn some Italian with Laura. And as always, she's not just going to teach us an idiomatic expression, but she's going to teach us some of the basics of the Italian language. So we don't go there and make it up as we go. Para la próxima vez que vayamos a Italia, que es muy normal desde España, teniéndolo cerca, que no vamos un poco inventándolo sobre la marcha. So let's learn with Laura.
Ciao a tutti, sono Laura. Come state? Spero bene. Benvenuti di nuovo alla sezione Tutti on board, impariamo a little bit of italiano.
Grazie mille.
Allora, il detto italiano che ho scelto oggi è questo. The Italian idiom I've chosen today is as follows. Can che abbaia non morde. Let's look at the meaning of this idiom, then analyze the sentence word by word, and finally we'll find out its Spanish and English equivalents. Can che abbaia non morde. This idiom compares the way in which people act or behave to the way in which animals act, and more specifically, dogs. Generally, it is said that a dog that barks a lot doesn't bite. And we use this expression to refer to someone who sounds frightening and unpleasant, but deep down is not as frightening and unpleasant as they may seem. And they are not going to end up doing what they are threatening to do.
Okay.
Let's analyze this sentence. Analizziamo la frase. Can is a more poetic way to say cane, spelled
Can.
C-A-N-E. Cane,
Cane.
which means dog.
Canino.
Che abbaia, spelled
Che abbaia.
C-H-E, che on the one side, and abbaia, A-B-B-A-I-A, on the
Abbaia.
other,
Abbaia.
means that barks or who barks.
Abbaia. Okay.
Abbaiare
Abbaiare.
means to bark.
Okay.
And abbaia is the present tense of the verb in the third person singular.
Okay.
So, can che abbaia would be the dog who barks. Non morde, spelled N-O-N, non, on the one side, and morde, M-O-R-D-E, on the other, means doesn't bite. Mordere means to bite, and morde is the present tense in the third person singular. In Italian, to make a negative sentence, we use the negative particle non before the verb. For example, io parlo inglese, ma non parlo cinese. It would be, I speak English, but I don't speak Chinese.
Chinese.
Or, io mangio gelato,
Io mangio
ma
gelato.
non mangio pizza.
Ma non mangio
I
pizza.
eat ice cream, but I don't eat pizza.
False
Which is
statement.
not true, by the way. I love pizza. So, the literal translation of can che abbaia non morde would be
abbaia.
the dog who barks doesn't bite. What are the Spanish and English counterparts of can che abbaia non morde? In Spanish, they say perro ladrador, poco mordedor. And in English, they say his bark is worse than his bite. So, as you can see, this idiom is very similar in the three languages. And that's all for today, amici. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit of Italian with me. Grazie e alla prossima puntata. Ciao!
Wow, great. I didn't know the poetic can. Se comen la e ahí. So I love it. I love it because this idiomatic expression is the same, really. I mean, for all intents and purposes, a todos los efectos, for all intents and purposes, we're talking about the same thing here, right? In English, as she pointed out, his bark or her bark, si hablamos de una mujer, is worse than her bite or his bite. Siempre tienen que hacer juegos, right? So barks and bite, and you say the same thing. Perro ladrador, a barking dog, poco mordedor, doesn't bite. We say his bark, su ladrido, is worse than his bite. Bark is also la corteza de un árbol.
right? The outside part. And it reminds me of another expression with the word bark. You're barking up the wrong tree. You're barking up the wrong tree, ya que sabemos la palabra bark. Y aquí no tiene que ver con el árbol, aunque tiene un árbol. Aquí está diciendo como un perro, right? You're barking up the wrong tree. And what does this mean? Mear fuera del tiesto, del tarro. Eh. To pee outside of the jar. I don't know. It's weird. Estar equivocado. Guy, I wasn't even there. You're barking up the wrong tree. Yo ni estuve ahí. Te equivocas, right? Te equivocas. You're barking up the wrong tree. So ya que estamos, we can look at the double meaning, as we said, of bark, ladrar, también corteza de un árbol. We've got the expression that Laura taught us in Italian as well. His bark is worse than his bite, okay? And we've also got you're barking up the wrong tree, okay? And you're barking up the wrong tree is te equivocas, okay? Oh, and el favorito de mi hija. And it's amazing. I'm going to show you how kids learn idiomatic expressions. One day, I came home. I don't know if it was from the gym or from Madrid. I don't know where it was. I came home. I took off my shoes and my socks, and I said, "Oh, man, my dogs are barking." And my daughter was like, And she didn't say anything, but she was observing. She was taking note. And I didn't even tell her what it meant, okay? But from the context, I plopped down on the sofa. Okay, I was exhausted. I kicked off my shoes and socks, and I said, "Oh," and I rubbed my feet. Creo que hasta los cogí masajear. And I'm like, "Oh, man, my dogs are barking." And so what happened? Maybe I would say a month or two later, my daughter comes home. I think we were at Parque War. I don't know. We were one of these days where you walk a lot. And she came home. And she just literally imitated me like a parrot. She came home, she plopped down on the sofa, and she says, "Daddy, my dogs are barking." And I said, I said, where did you learn that? She said, "You said it once." And I said, wow, and wow. So some of us, and me included, you have to be exposed to it 5, 6, 7 times until we get it into our heads. But a kid? Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? Months, and it wasn't like the next day. Months later, in the exact situation, only it was her feet that were hurting. Que me duelen los pies. Tengo los pies como para soltarlos, right? My dogs are barking today. Un día que tienes los pies cansados. And she jotted it down in her little mind, in that big, beautiful little mind. And she was just waiting for the right moment to use it. And there it was. She said, "Daddy, my dogs are barking." All right, folks, I can't believe it, but we have got to go to our final commercial break. We'll be right back with the rest of today's show. So, say it with me. 3, 2, 1. Stick around. Welcome back, amigos. Welcome back. It is time for part 4 of today's show with No Name. And you've got a really, really fun triple trouble today. Oh, yeah. Today we're doing triple trouble. And we're going to flip the script. Le vamos a dar la vuelta a la tortilla. We're going to flip the script on our triple trouble. We'll be starting with that in just a moment. Then we've got our Say What soundbite. Looks like, Laura, you finally were allowed to say it. I don't know why YouTube. Please, somebody explain to me why YouTube is censoring an English class. Really? Really? Your AI is broken. We're not trying to do anything here except learn English. If anybody's listening over at YouTube, fix your shit. Fix it, man. Nobody here is a conspiracy. I mean, we're just learning English. Sorry if it upsets you. Well, just shows you can't trust YouTube. Oh, no way. And YouTube is Gmail. It's all of those. Well, they feel like you shouldn't be able to say what you want in your English class. Oh, okay. Cool. Great. Sounds like a wonderful company. Well, Laura, even if it didn't show me the comment, which now I can see it, I trust you. A lot more than I trust these big tech companies. Oh, man. In fact, I have zero trust in them. Think about how low they have stooped. You know, that's what they do. They pay people to go and listen to this English class and moderate the comments. And because we're plotting to take over the world, es una conspiración para hacernos con el mundo. Really? That's what you're spending your resources on, YouTube? Busting up an English class? Okay. Good job. Laura says, it's incredible. It's so annoying. It's annoying, and it obviously shows you it's a company that does not value your freedom of speech, your freedom to express yourself in a private, it's a private class. It's on, on Vaughn. It's a private thing. It's not like I don't know. It's weird. But, well, the only thing I can say, the positive, the silver lining is, if you ever at one point in your life trusted big tech, and when I say big tech, I don't just mean YouTube, Gmail, which is the same thing, and Mark Zuckerberg and all these people, but none of them. You cannot trust them at all, because what else have they censored that you said? And you didn't realize it. All right. So let's see. Where were we? Oh, okay. Well, let's kick off with today's Triple Trouble.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
No, triple.
Double.
I said triple.
Double trouble.
No, I said triple.
I said double.
No. Triple trouble. All right. Well, folks, this is a triple trouble, but are you ready for this? In Spanish. Now, you have to solve it in English. O sea, voy a usar yo la misma palabra 3 veces en español. Y vosotros, voy a ver si sabéis esta palabra, sus 3, porque hay 3 palabras diferentes en inglés. So, you catch my drift here? I'm giving you right now a Spanish translation. It will have the same word in it 3 times in Spanish. It will not. So, os digo ahora mismo, lo bueno, no tiene que tener la misma palabra 2 veces en inglés, porque ya lo tiene 3 veces en español. You catch my drift? Okay, here we go. Los gemelos con los gemelos grandes, so gemelos porque nacieron al mismo tiempo, con los gemelos grandes en la pierna, gemelos esos, se han comprado unos gemelos para el traje, para la camisa. All right, so it's a triple trouble con la palabra gemelos. Do you know all 3 gemelos in English? Oh, I told you I was going to flip the script today. So, one more time, you don't have to use the same word 3 times. You have to know all 3, because it's in English, those are 3 different words, those gemelos. So let's see. Los gemelos con los gemelos grandes, vamos, los del gym, se han comprado unos gemelos. Gemelos, again, de camisa, de vestir. All right, let me give you today's Say What soundbite. Also, give it up for Laura. She got it. I trust you, Laura, and now you had to make some adjustments over here, but anyway, let's move on because, I just get flustered. Me pongo nervioso, me pongo when I talk about that kind of stuff. And so the show must go on. Thank you for dealing with it and still giving us the answer. Here it is, folks, your Say What soundbite for the fourth and final time.
Oh, God. I would like to make some really profound analogy about it. I think that incident in Switzerland was just an incident in Switzerland. I'm really sorry that it got blown up. I purposely did not mention the name of the store.
¿Qué tiene que ver la Universidad de Oxford con Vaughan? Pues muchísimo. Es una alegría anunciar que Vaughan ha sido certificado como centro examinador de Oxford Test of English. A partir del próximo mes de marzo 2023, podrás hacer los exámenes de Oxford Test of English en los centros de Vaughan. Si quieres más información sobre esta iniciativa de Vaughan y Oxford, puedes ver más en nuestra página web, grupovaughan.com. O bien síguenos en redes sociales para más información. Oxford Test of English con Vaughan.
Brilliant!
That's right, the Oxford Test of English. If you want more information, make sure you're following us on social media. All right. Let's see. We've got a lot of comments here. Born to Iron Man is giving us those other words. And yes, let's see. The word pie, tarta, I forget how you say it. American pie, estos de manzana. Okay. That is the same as pi, the mathematical number. So yes, born to Iron Man. Pi, que es pie en español. Pi, que no es pie, pero se escribe como pie. And pie, sin la e, are pronounced exactly the same. Okay? And the two, I told you there were two. So P sounds like P, guisante, P-E-A, y claro, la letra P, the letter P as well. So great job, Born to Iron Man. Wonderful. Let's see. Chris says, kids are like sponges. We thought the same, Laura. And what daddy or mommy does is the Bible, the Word of God. You are their heroes. Well, and that should not be taken lightly. That should not, believe me, I am much more aware of my reactions to things and my actions in general, because I know there's somebody looking up to me and saying, is he going to do the right thing? Is he going to? And so I know it. And you value that as a parent. You value how your children look up to you. It's a beautiful thing. What can I say? All right, there's Laura taking a stab at today's Triple Trouble, Spanish Triple Trouble. She says, the twins with the big calves have bought themselves cufflinks. Yes. Twins, gemelos. You've got two kinds, too. You've got, co-joined, three kinds. Co-joined, which you're together. You've got fraternal, which they don't look alike. Maybe they have something, but they don't look identical. And identical twins. Okay, so the twins with the big calves, and the word calf is C-A-L-F. Pero si lo ponemos en plural, como lo ha hecho Laura, es calves. All right, so calf or calves. You know what that also means? A baby cow. Yeah. Remember we were talking about animals yesterday? So tenemos otro. Oh, man, that little calf has a broken calf. Yeah, ahí lo tienes. A broken calf muscle. So, all right. And the last part, cufflinks. That's right, cufflinks. So you say gemelos, we say twins, we say calves. or we say cufflinks. Excellent job, Laura. Let's see. Born to Iron Man. He's taking a stab at it too. He says, the twins with the large calf muscles, con ese, have bought themselves a pair of cufflinks. Excellent job. And also Chris Valrol as well. And Vero. So the words twins, calves, que también hemos dicho significa vaquitas, and cufflinks. In Spanish, the words are gemelos. All right, time to move on to Name That Movie. Name That Movie. That's right, amigos. It's Name That Movie here on the show with no name. And let's see, today's movie is awesome. I imagine most of you have seen this movie. It's a modern classic. I wouldn't say a classic. I would say more of a modern classic because it came out in 1988. All right, there's a little clue. 1988. And here we go. A physically perfect but innocent man goes in search of his long lost, eso lo vimos ayer, ¿no? Hace tiempo perdido, twin brother, who turns out to be a short, womanizing, small-time crook. All right. So the word twin, did I just say the word twin? Yeah, that's what I said. So a physically perfect but innocent man goes in search of his long-lost twin brother, who turns out to be, resulta ser, a short, bajito, womanizing, mujeriego, womanizing, small-time crook. Okay? And a crook es un chorizo, pero de poca cosa. No es un, he's not some kind of big, famous, he's, no, insignificante, como uno no de primera, vamos a decir. Okay? And ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Chris. She got it. The movie is Twins. And now you know other ways to say gemelos. In Spanish, los gemelos golpean dos veces. I love it. It could just be I mean, think about it. The cover of the movie, right? The poster. It was Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger with the word twins over it. No necesitas mucho más. I mean, el chiste se escribe sin hacer el se golpean dos veces. So, creo que con gemelos hubiese sobrado, ¿no? Porque te ríes pensando, estos dos son gemelos, ¿en qué mundo? Right? So it's Twins. Excellent movie over there. Also, Chris got today's Say What soundbite as well. Great job. Wonderful job. Also, an interesting thing about this movie is they didn't have enough money. I love that. We've got an idea for a movie. We want you in it, but we haven't got any money. Well, then don't call me. And so their two main stars, who I just mentioned, they couldn't pay them their normal fees. Oh, poor Hollywood. You really, I feel so bad. And so they made a deal. They struck a deal, as we say, too. And they decided to split a percentage of the profits between the three of them, the director and the two main actors. And guess what? The film was a huge hit, and they made a lot more money than they would have made, under their normal wage. So see, sometimes you got to bet on something. I mean, you think of it, this movie, just a typical 80s movie, but it was a pretty big hit, I've got to say. And Universal, that was the company, the distributor, they were working under a deadline. So I love it. We've got a strict deadline. We want to do this movie, but we can't pay you. Why did my agent take this call again? And they made the deal. To make a deal, we looked at that before. They sealed the deal on a napkin, una servieta. And Danny DeVito actually had that napkin framed. Lo ha enmarcado. Okay, let's take a look at the scene that I've chosen over here from this movie, Twins. Julius Benedict says, "Why are you being so immature about all this?" And to be immature, inmaduro, you can also say childish, muy diferente que childlike. Childlike posee calidades de niño. Childish, inmaduro. So you can say, "Oh, Alberto, you're very childlike. No tienes cosas de niño." Childish is grow up, man. Come on. So why are you being so immature about all of this? Julius asks. And Vincent answers, "Look, Julius, do you know how many times I've heard stories like this? ¿Sabes cuántas veces he oído historias así? It's every orphan's fantasy. Es la fantasía de todo huérfano. Every orphan is the word, con PH en inglés y con O al principio. Every orphan's fantasy." He says, "My real mom and dad were rich and beautiful, but there was a mix-up at the hospital, una equivocación en el hospital, and I got switched with another baby. But one day, there's gonna be a knock at the door. Van a tocar en la puerta. And there they'll be, y ahí estarán, with open arms, crying." Y crying aquí no es llorando, sino gritando. Another way of saying gritar is to cry. Crying, "My darling, my treasure, we didn't know. No sabíamos. How can we make it up to you? ¿Cómo podemos amendarlo? How can we make it up to you? Let me tell you something for your own good, Julius. It's a crock. A crock es una mentira. It's a crock or a crock of shit, se puede decir. Okay? A crock. A ver, como lo, here on word reference, a crock. Man, that is a crock. Vasija también. Tonterías, gilipollez. Okay? Paparruchas. That's a crock of shit or simplemente a crock. Have you guys seen this movie? Oh, man, I remember watching this one over and over and over again. All right, folks, we've got to keep moving because we've got a party to get to in famous birthday trivia. That's right, folks. It's famous birthday trivia here on the show with no name. And as always, I'm going to give you some clues. Let's see if you know who these people are. The first girl, well, I should say woman, she's older than I am, was born today in 1970. An American actress who got her start as a child actress. In fact, she was in the movie Twins. Have you heard of it? Of course you have. We just looked at it in today's in today's Name That Movie. She was also, well, the first time people really paid attention was in a 1988 movie, License to Drive, okay, where she had a bigger part. She only had a bit part in the movie Twins. She was also in the TV series Twin Peaks. She was in Swingers. I remember seeing her in Swingers. She was also Roller Girl in Boogie Nights. That's where I think everybody said, wow, she's a really good actress. She was also in Bowfinger and Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. Those were both in 1999. She was also in From Hell, The Hangover, Resacón en Las Vegas, The Hangover Part 3 as well, and Part 2. So in all of those, and well, she's a very well-known actress. As you can see, she's been in many great movies. Number 2, this guy was born in 1947. This English singer-songwriter died, though, in 1985. And, well, he was a British singer He was best known in the early 70s as the original lead vocalist of the rock band Uriah Heep. I've got to be honest, I'm not too familiar with much of their music. Any Uriah Heep songs, fans here? Maybe you can recommend a song or two. Well, this guy was the original lead singer. And last but not least, this American talk show host, actress, and producer was born today in 1954. And they call her the queen of all media. Okay, now, I personally am not a huge fan because I think, she's got a lot of hype. And also, I don't think I'm her target audience, to be honest. So, it makes sense that I wouldn't watch her program. But her program was watched by millions. I don't know if she still does the program, but she is rolling in it. Está forradísimo. All right. And let's see. Chris Valrol says, number one, Heather Graham, Oprah Winfrey, and the musician is David Byron from Uriah Heep. All right, let's take a look then. We've got Oprah Winfrey talking about an incident in Switzerland when she asked to see a handbag. And the person at the shop said, no, it's too expensive for you. And let me again, I'll tell you, she's a billionaire. So it was I'm sure maybe some of you have heard of the incident. And this is Oprah talking about that incident. She says, I would like to make some kind of really profound analogy about it. I think that incident in Switzerland was just an incident in Switzerland. O sea, sin más. I'm really sorry that it got blown up. Siento que se ha exagerado tanto. And I purposely did not mention the name of the store. So here she is, birthday girl, Oprah Winfrey.
Oh, God. I would like to make some really profound analogy about it. I think that incident in Switzerland was just an incident in Switzerland. I'm really sorry that it got blown up. I purposely did not mention the name of the store.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is... No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name the lyric, name the lyric, name the lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name the lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name the lyric only on the show with no name.
Great job, everyone. Excellent job today. Thank you so much for learning and laughing with me every day. Don't forget to stay tuned because you've got Jimena Holiday up next with Test Your English. Also, participate in the question of the week. Tell us about your first crush. And you can send that to my email, aalonso@grupovon.com. Again, wonderful job today. Great energy. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm going to give you guys, since nobody seemed to know Uriah Heep, and I've seen them at a lot of heavy metal festivals. I've never seen them, but I've seen them on, on the posters and things. So I figured we could discover Uriah Heep together. This is a song called Lady in Black. And if you'd like, take a look at the lyrics with me over here. It's Lady in Black, Uriah Heep. She came to me one morning, me vino una mañana, one lonely Sunday morning, un domingo solitario, her long hair flowing, no, que fluía, in the midwinter wind. I know not how she found me, no sé cómo me encontró, for in darkness I was walking, en la tiniebla es donde anduve, and destruction lay around me. Let's take a look at it together. It's Uriah Heep, Lady in Black. Thank you so much, everybody. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always. We'll be back tomorrow with more. Ciao. Day morning. Sounds cool. The wind, winter wind. Sing it.
I know not how she found me, for in darkness I was walking, and destruction lay around me. From a fight I could not win,
Come on, easy this part. Sounds cool, huh?